ElsaGate is back, and child exploitation is at an all-time high on YouTube. Children are being exposed to just awful and deplorable content, and it's incredibly hard not to get exposed to that as a little kid. Finally, people are acknowledging this. I've researched a little further, and I've found a disgusting rabbit hole that I only briefly mentioned. For those who haven't seen my video, you should probably watch that first to fully understand what's going on here. But to briefly explain it, ElsaGate is the name that was given to an odd occurrence on YouTube back in 2016 and 2017, where a bunch of incredibly bizarre and inappropriate videos were being uploaded to YouTube and marketed towards children using their favorite characters. Mostly Spider-Man and Elsa, because Spider-Man and Elsa were the most popular characters for boys and girls at the time respectively. These videos often featured live action actors, claymation, and cheap flash animation. The videos would do incredibly well. Hell, some of them were even old prank channels who basically rebranded as these children's channels because it was where the money was at. Instead of making wholesome content though, these videos were disturbing in a way that they did not have to be. People started connecting the dots and essentially figured out that they might be more than just strange. A popular theory to explain this content is that predators were using these videos to normalize children with these disturbing things, mostly being feces, needles, pregnancy, and a whole bunch of other things that are not appropriate for children to be exposed to. A lot of these videos were very, very violent and sexual. Mainstream news media was talking about it, YouTubers were talking about it, and finally, YouTube took action and made some major policy changes that effectively killed the content, but only for a while. ElsaGate has unfortunately made a return. It's essentially been here all along, but it's reared its ugly head, especially now in the past few years. Instead of Spider-Man and Elsa, this content heavily features Huggy Wuggy, Friday Night Funkin', Minecraft, and Sonic. And those are only a few names that are very popular in these videos. Obviously, this is what children are into nowadays. There's no need for me to explain this all again. Again, if you want to learn more, watch my other video. But there's a very strange rabbit hole that can be found when researching this. One that I found on Reddit and then covered in my video. This being the Hey Arnold full episodes playlist conspiracy. Now, for those who are unaware, if you go into the YouTube search bar and search up Hey Arnold full episodes, and then go into the playlist tab, you will be met with a ton of really, really strange and disturbing content. Most of it being straight up pornography. Now, none of it is too hardcore, but it's still nothing that children should see. These people are specifically putting this on for children. Sure, of course, adults watch cartoons too, but I assume the vast majority of people who are going to be looking for cartoon full episodes on YouTube are kids. I did it all the time as a kid. I know other kids who would do the same. Even with me, we would look for full episodes of cartoons on YouTube because we didn't have streaming services or ways to watch them otherwise. Redditor u/pastlactose3213141 uploaded a post asking questions as to why these videos exist. This post on Reddit was really obscure until I covered it, which led a lot of people to start searching it. Luckily, through this effort, people reported a lot of these playlists, and there are less than there used to be when I first covered it. My efforts are to expose this content as much as we can, so I reached out to a ton of different content creators, one of which being Some Ordinary Gamers, and he ended up actually making a video on this conspiracy. However, he simply at the end just says, don't look this up.
The only way it can get worse is if somebody finds out Hey Arnold full episodes and filters YouTube search by playlist only. Don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. It is a bad idea, and I'm just saying it I'm just telling you that right now.
I've got my problems with the way that he handled this, but this further exposed people to it. But here's the thing. It's not just Hey Arnold. It goes way, way deeper than I could have ever imagined. And there are some search terms for cartoon shows, basically just the equivalent of looking up NSFW on a website that isn't YouTube. I received a few comments telling me that Hey Arnold was not the only one, so I decided to try it out for myself and see what other shows worked with it. And what's really unfortunate is that a lot of different children's shows directly led to NSFW content. If you look up the show The New Archies, you'll be met with more NSFW playlists than you will the New Archies playlists. And here's the thing, I do not recommend you look this up, especially if you are a child, because these thumbnails vary from semi-NSFW to full-on NSFW. And here's the thing, they all end up using the same exact description for the playlist. They usually start off with a ton of NSFW videos, and then actual episodes of the show that the playlist is about. Weird. The majority of the channels who are making these playlists are either Hindi or Vietnamese. But a weird thing that they all share is a video by the name How to Make a Simple Stylus for the Phone. This is just a tech video from a Vietnamese channel, which basically shows that if you dip a Q-tip in some liquid, you can use it as a stylus for your phone. The video is completely innocent and there's nothing wrong with it. However, the amount of times that it shows up on these playlists is suspicious to me. The comments are very, very varied. There are people from all over the world commenting on these, with a lot of the more recent comments mentioning me or Mutahar. There are also comments that are essentially porn bots. Now, something about this video that's interesting is that it has 42 million views, but only 20,000 likes and only 300 comments. Now, for those who are unaware, that's very, very strange. For example, if we look at one of my popular videos, the Gen Z Childhood Trauma Iceberg, The Complete Saga, it has 35,000 likes and 3,682 comments at the time of recording. However, this video only has 1 million views. Why does this video have 42 million but only 300 comments and 20,000 likes? The first thing that came to my mind was view botting. I thought this channel could be using bots to inflate their numbers on the views. This is definitely not uncommon, and unfortunately lots of YouTube channels use bots to inflate their views. It is not legal, but it happens. This might not be the case, and I'll explain further. So we've got the new Archies, right? So I decided to look up some shows that I grew up with personally. My Little Pony? Yep, similar playlists, only themed to My Little Pony, featuring that same stylus video, and a lot of the same NSFW videos. Now, you may be wondering, how are a lot of these videos up in the first place? Well, the thing is that a lot of them are simply educational. A lot of them are essentially breast milk tutorials. Women showing how to get milk out of their breasts. They're not intended to be sexual, but obviously, like, do I have to explain? Now let's look up My Life as a Teenage Robot, a classic 2000s TV show. Yep, there we go. Same thing. Alongside re-uploads of the Zone porn parody. Now, when I was thinking about the Hey Arnold thing, I thought about more classic Nickelodeon shows, so I looked up The Wild Thornberrys. Go into playlists, and there we go, more NSFW. But the thing is, if you look up Wild Thornberrys or any of these cartoons, excluding the full episode search term, you're not going to find these playlists. It's only when you look up full episodes that all this stuff shows up. Again, same videos and same simple stylus for phone video. A lot of these NSFW videos are essentially just a few seconds long, like it'll be a slight snippet from a video and then be over, while some of them are significantly longer. Okay, so Wild Thornberrys works about as told by Ginger. Yep, same thing here. It seems that no cartoon show is safe. However, it's not every cartoon show that you look up. It seems to be more obscure ones that aren't currently super popular, which means that they can be hidden more easily. For example, all the shows listed are on the older side and aren't currently being aired, except for Family Guy. If you look up Family Guy full episodes no cuts, you'll be met with a whole other rabbit hole, which I either have a video up on it right now, or will in a few days. This is its own rabbit hole and conspiracy that people are talking about. But if you go into full episodes, there you go. It's the same shit. And there we go. Look at our simple stylus video. I personally find this less disturbing because Family Guy isn't made for children, so most of the people looking this up aren't going to be kids. But we've still got that full episode search term. Now what if we look up just full episodes on its own, without any cartoon behind it? Before going into playlist, you will find just Family Guy, which is very interesting. But when you go into playlists, it's actually relatively innocent. It's just a bunch of different playlists of actual different shows. Most of them being Bollywood, but also a lot of American shows and anime. It's innocent, as far as I can tell. Now all this reminded me of re-uploaded clips from different movies that end up getting a lot more notoriety than the movie itself. For example, there's an indie film by the name of Walk With Me. It was shot in my neighborhood and I'm close to the director. It's a love story between two women, so there's a scene where they kiss. The film is called Walk With Me, so if you look up Walk With Me kissing scene on YouTube, you're gonna find a lot of different videos. The top one having 8.8 million views. The comments on this big video vary from being like, wow, this is such a good movie, to being thirst comments, which is something that I'd expect. But if you go into playlists, we're met with a familiar face. Look at that. It's the tech video. Now, when going into these playlists, you'll find a lot of the same ones that you'll find on the cartoon full episode playlist. Many of the same videos reappear, sprinkled alongside a lot of different Vietnamese cooking videos and tech videos. But then there'll be videos that pop out like Helena Realistic Sex Doll, which is straight up just a video of someone displaying their Helena Realistic Sex Doll, which, like, that's the MCR name, man. You can't, you know, it's there, and it's not censored or anything. But something that's strange is that when you go into these playlists, you'll find so many re-uploads of these scenes, and the descriptions simply just repeat the name of the actresses over and over and over alongside the name of the movie. You'd think that having just one clip of this one scene would be enough, but no, there are so many duplicates, and some of them have only about 100 views. So these people really do their digging and find as many re-uploads of this scene as they can. It gets even stranger when you find Q&As that these actresses have done with the director or their acting reels and stuff like that. They really did their research and they're really finding as much as they can about these two women, which really rubs me the wrong way personally. These playlists include more kissing scenes in movies, but you'll still find your breastfeeding videos and your random Vietnamese videos. So you may be wondering, what the hell is going on? Well, if you've followed ElsaGate so far, you've probably got your suspicions. And initially, I did too. If it is believed that there are a bunch of creeps behind all this stuff, trying to familiarize children with NSFW content so they're more okay with it, and then that can lead to them being groomed, then this seems like a very obvious jumping point from that. If you look up cartoons and then are met with porn, especially at a really young age, that changes your brain in a lot of different ways. Many people who were children when ElsaGate first came out have come to me and have told me about how it's negatively impacted their lives and the way that they view sex and sexuality. Many people have claimed that viewing this content at such a young age has made them hypersexual, and that they are incredibly upset about it because it's something that they can't really change. It gets to the point too, when you look up things that aren't even cartoon shows, if you look up Huggy Wuggy full episodes, you're gonna find the exact same things. However, they're all Poppy Playtime themed now, and children watch so much content of it on the internet. Yet there's still so much NSFW content that comes up when you look it up, which to me it's like, why does this come up when searching children's content? And I think I might actually have an answer that doesn't include a ring of predators. Let me explain. Something that prevails in almost all of these playlists is Vietnamese channels. Now, why is this important? Well, people have informed me in the comments of my prior video that Vietnam has really strict porn laws, and that a lot of Vietnamese citizens go to YouTube to find NSFW content because they can't otherwise. DVDs are not allowed, magazines aren't allowed, and websites that host that sort of content are illegal and tracked down by the police there. So outside of people with VPNs, they cannot find this content. And, I mean, we're all human. So they end up going to YouTube to find this footage. And then they do. So that's a reason that it could exist. But why does that one video always show up in all of these damn videos? There's a possibility that whoever made that video is paying people to add it to these playlists, especially considering the length of some of the clips that precede it, being only a few seconds long. That tech video will go on an autoplay and have an ad be played, hence such a large view count for a video that has so little engagement. So essentially, most of those 42 million views will probably come from people who accidentally watched the video because it came up on a playlist. This does make sense to me. Initially, I was completely stumped because these playlists aren't profitable in the slightest. It felt like it was something far more deep and insidious, but I think this is the answer. Why children's content though? Why does it have to be cartoons? Well, it's a really innocent search term. Let's say you're an individual who's trying to find content but doesn't want to be caught finding this content. Looking up full episodes of a cartoon show is one of the most innocent things that you can do. So it makes sense that they're using that as a vice to cover up their true intentions. Are these people aware of the effect that it's going to have on children? I don't know, honestly. And for the sake of my view on humanity, I hope not, to be completely honest. Since recording this video, I was informed of more ways to find these playlists. and these were different than the others. You may be familiar with the donkey meme of Beeg Yoshi. It's this big fat Yoshi made a thing, Beeg Yoshi, B-E-E-G. This is very popular, everyone loved it, kids loved it, adults loved it, doesn't really matter. However, if you look up Beeg Yoshi and then search by playlists, boom, there you go. All these playlists are using the search term of Beeg. And it turns out that Beeg is actually a word used for porn. There's a website using that word, and so it's inherently linked to that. Did Donkey know this? I have no idea, but it leads there. Now there's another one. Remember those POV memes from a little while back? There's one that was really popular about someone finding oil and then America coming in and taking it. So, if you look up POV, you found oil in YouTube, and then go to the search bar, and then search by playlists. Yep, more of what we should be familiar with by now. But a lot of these are called POV You Stayed Overnight at Aunt Cass's house. Aunt Cass being the character from the Disney film Big Hero 6, who was heavily sexualized in meme culture a little while back. This is weird, and it's just another example as to how much porn you can find on YouTube just by a single search term. But why Poppy Playtime, and why is full episodes always the thing that makes these pop up? My examples are definitely not the only ones. I looked up shows that were more popular nowadays, like SpongeBob and stuff like that, but couldn't find it because I assume they don't use shows that are too popular because there are so many other playlists already available that it's harder to find this NSFW content. Now, the thing is that many people ended up coming to my comment section on the prior video saying that they found footage on one of these playlists that wasn't of a consenting adult and that was of a child. Now, whether or not this is true, I don't know, but there is one thumbnail that I think kind of looks like that. However, from the start, I could kind of tell what it actually was. It's footage of a man squeezing the skin in between his elbow, making it look like it's female anatomy, and putting his pointer finger around it. At the end of the video, it pans out to reveal that it's just his arm, and then he gives the camera the finger. This is likely the video that people are saying is of a child. Thank God, it is not. However, there could be actual footage of children in these playlists, and I just haven't seen them. Which is why I think that you should observe a lot of caution when researching this. If you do decide to. It's a real problem that this is up at all, and I'm surprised that YouTube isn't doing absolutely nothing to control it. The only way that we've got these channels down is because my call to action to mass report them, and admittedly we got a few taken down. When you look up Hey Arnold, you'll still find a few, but not as many as you could before, and now it's kind of a meme. Someone basically made one with the same playlist copy pasta, but instead of being NSFW content, it's all the gummy bear videos. But again, it is not just Hey Arnold. There's a part of me that can't believe this is happening. Is no one at YouTube aware, or do they just not even care? There is one other YouTuber who's part of the fight with us, and that YouTuber is Swanene. Over a month ago, he uploaded a video on ElsaGate, and he's a much smaller channel than mine, but he's part of the fight, and he's going to continue to make videos on this topic. We're allies in this battle against ElsaGate, and we're going to employ the hashtag ElsaGateIsBack on Twitter and any other platforms where people will hear us. Change can only be achieved through effort, and I think that the effort that's being put up already by you guys is honestly incredible. After the initial video's success, some of these playlists have been taken down, like I mentioned earlier, and that is great. We need more of that. Not only that, but a lot of these ElsaGate channels have also been reported by a lot of people, and the word is being spread, especially if we continue to try hard. I want you all to join in on the ElsaGateIsBack hashtag, because if we've got one unifying phrase that we can use to spread all across the internet, YouTube can't ignore us any longer. They're gonna have to finally answer for something. The thing is that using children's characters for inappropriate things is already against TOS. We're not even asking for much, we're literally just asking for them to enforce their own rules. I want to grow a wide range of allies in this battle, because that's really what we need to do. I really do not want to start another adpocalypse. That is not what I'm trying to do. This is also my job. And I'm not trying to be another Matt Watson here. Change needs to be made, but ads don't need to be pulled. Let's make that very, very clear. As of today, February 16th, Susan Wojcicki has actually stepped down from her position as CEO of YouTube, welcoming in Neil Mohan as the new CEO of YouTube. And I think this is great because he might actually make some changes on this platform. I don't know, and I don't think we should set our expectations too high, but there's a chance that some change could be made. Again, I want everyone watching this to do what they can to boost this video in the algorithm. That means comment on the video, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, and try and watch all the way through. If you're here, you already have, but if you're going to rewatch it, watch all the way, because that is the way that we can use the algorithm to our advantage to make the word known and to make some actual feasible change, because that's the way we're going to get this message to be spread, and that's the way we're going to get YouTube to know. This is a call to action to every YouTuber out there who has a platform and who wants to make a change. I'm inviting Mama Max, Scare Theater, Hannah the Horrible, Voice Critical, Nexpo, and anyone who's passionate about this to make videos on it and cover it. Not just the playlist rabbit hole, but the entirety of ElsaGate and child exploitation on YouTube. Hell, if we could get someone like PewDiePie to cover something like this, that would be insane, and a huge step in ensuring our victory against ElsaGate. So if you're in those communities, ask them to cover it. Swanene has provided us an amazing pastebin link, which we can use to catalog and report every single ElsaGate channel that comes our way. That'll be in the description below, and every channel that's on there, you should report. Provided with that link are detailed instructions on what to do to get these channels taken down. I've been reporting these channels for around a month and a half now. It's been an effort that I've been consistently doing. And if enough of us can band together, we can take these fuckers down. So I think that's about it. I've been Raymundo2112. You've been a great audience, and I'll see you all in the next one. And I hope that we can make a change together.